Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. So, as always, if you've been enjoying this show, make sure to subscribe and share. Leave us a review on iTunes if you're enjoying it. As always, you can find us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast, and YouTube, and on social media at Dishes by Dishes. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show, don't forget to email bwwpspodcast@gmail.com. You guys have heard this so many times. Is it recording? It is. Anyway, this week's guest is my Maid of Honor, Claire. She is kicking off our wedding series. So this is the first episode of wedding-related content we're doing for the next 3 or 4 episodes, and it's going to round out the 2019 year for us. So without further ado, here's Claire. So we're live. Hello. Claire is here with us, our Maid of Honor, and this is our first episode of the wedding series. So we have a few episodes coming your guys' way about it, but we're going to start with the Maid of Honor. Hi, Claire.
Hi, everyone.
So I guess for the first thing we're going to start with is like the proposal and stuff, because you were involved with it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun planning that.
Tell us about it.
Well, my gosh. So first, Mike tells me that he got the ring, and I'm like, oh, okay, when are you going to propose? He goes, I think in about 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, okay. It was unexpected, but he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew what day he wanted to ask you. And the cool thing was Mike knew where he wanted to propose to you, and it was at Hidden Grounds Coffee where you two met. But he didn't know exactly how he wanted to do it when he was there. So I said, well, Mike, I've never been there, so it'd be, important to go there. What would you want to do to make it more dynamic, add a little bit more of a surprise element to this? And he's like, I don't know. So I'm like, I get to thinking, I'm like, all right, well, we definitely have to get the Hidden Ground staff on board for this. And we let them know. And I start thinking, I'm like, because we're in a perfect square, how do you add an element of surprise to this place where there's nowhere to hide? So finally we start thinking about hiding Mike in the bathroom, hiding Mike in the kitchen. And then finally we realize, we think of this plan, I don't know how we thought of it, where you would be sitting in the back of the coffee shop facing the windows away from the bar where you order the coffee. And Mike would be behind the bar where you order the coffee. And I would bring you in. It would look like a normal day at the cafe. We order your coffee, except the barista would tell you that, because normally you get your coffee right there and then, but the barista would tell you,
they'll bring it out.
That
was the whole thing, yeah.
So instead they were going to say, oh, our machine's not working. So instead of you just, standing here waiting, we're going to bring it back to you, because well, you didn't know this, but I had 2 seats reserved in the back, purposely facing the back. And
that Justin reserved, because the photographer was Justin, and he just sat there.
Mike set up the photographer and everything to be there, because I said, of course you're going to want official pictures. I mean, I know I would. So I'm thinking anything that I would want, you would want. Because you did tell me back in the day that just do what you would do. And I'm like, oh God, okay, this has got to be perfect.
No pressure.
No pressure. It was even more pressure, I think, to do it for you than it would ever be for myself. Not that I would do this for myself, hopefully. But anyway.
Propose to yourself.
Propose to myself. It's fine. I feel like Carrie Bradshaw. I'm registering at Manolo Blahnik. Anyway, so we had the 2 receipts reserved in the back, and the Hidden Grounds people were on board. Now how to get you there was another thing. So Mike was, the idea was that Mike was we get you in the back. We order coffee. We come in, we order coffee. It looks like a regular cafe. Order the coffee. The barista is going to tell you that the machine's broken. So instead of you waiting, they're going to bring out your coffee. We go back to our seats. And in this time, while we're back at our seats doing whatever, Mike is going to jump from out behind the bar, quickly put out the sign that says, will you marry me? But put roses on the floor with candles, and be down on one knee. And then, but before that actually happens, wow, I'm not doing the best.
So in that time when they brought the coffee out, they on at Hidden Grounds, they have like a rose latte, so it's a pink latte, and they sent it out, and the guy brought out our lattes, and he had it in like the shape of a heart, and on the saucer it said, "Will you marry me?" So when they brought it out, that's when like I got the first hint of like what was happening, and I was like, I started like freaking out, because then I turn around and like what was like just a regular coffee shop, now there's like this big like glittery like banner that said, "Will you marry me?" There's rose petals on the floor, there's candles, and there's Mike. But the thing is, when we walked in, from my perspective, this was a Saturday, and it was like so busy in Hidden Grounds for a Saturday morning, and I was like, why are there so many people here? Like, school's not even in session. Or no, it was in September, but still, like, it was pretty crowded for a Saturday. And when I turned around, it took me a second to find Mike, because everyone in the coffee shop knew what was happening, and that's why it was so crowded, because they all stayed, and a lot of the girls left and came back with their friends, and when I turned around, everyone's phones were up. So, like, up in the air, everyone's hands are up with their phone, and so it took me a hot second to, like, find Mike all the way by the bar, and then I just, like, ugly cry, and, like, you know, he's there and does his thing.
It was a great moment. I was so happy. I don't know who cried more. Me or you?
I don't know. And then like Justin is there like sneakily taking his pictures.
Yeah, the photographer, he's great.
Yeah.
So the idea was that somehow I'd get you to the back of the bar. We'd be doing whatever. Mike's behind the bar, and then the waitress would finally bring out your coffee, and on the saucer it said, "Will you marry me?" And then that would cause you to turn around and then find Mike.
The best part was the video. You made me watch a video.
Yes, yes. So how I got you to get to Hidden Grounds was quite fun, because I had to come up with this story that I said I had a job interview at Rutgers, and it happened to be in a building that was located near Hidden Grounds. Total BS. But it worked. And I told you that I was really nervous, and that when we were looking for parking, I pretended to find parking near Hidden Grounds only.
Yeah.
So
no, you were like, "Oh, let's pick up coffee."
Yeah,
and it's like across the street, and your mom drove.
That's true. Well, the whole thing that I told her was like, pretend like she was like, how would I end up by Hidden Grounds? I said, pretend like you're just driving around. You don't know. You're trying to pretend like you don't know where you're going, even though of course she knows exactly where she's going. I said, just pretend to find like parking right there. And instead, what my mom did was she pretended like she got annoyed that she couldn't find it, and so it kicked us out by Hidden Grounds. I said, this works because I want to get coffee anyway. Yeah. We walk in, we order, we sit in the back, and I make you, I don't know why I couldn't come up with anything else, but I make you watch a video with Ellen DeGeneres.
Some Ellen DeGeneres to keep my head looking
forward.
Like back. Yeah, like back towards the window, and not turning around to keep looking at the bar, because the barista actually didn't say that they were going to bring it out.
Right.
And I've been to Hidden Grounds.
They botched it. They didn't mention that part that the machine was broken. And
so I kept like turning around like, oh, like I have to like check if our coffee's already, because like they're not going to bring it out. Like that's not what they do here. And because I've been there, like.
Right. And I hadn't. So I really didn't have an argument to say, no, let's just not worry about it. And I'm like, crap, how am I going to get around this now? But
yeah. And the best part is I ordered an iced drink instead of a hot drink. So like they bring out like our iced drinks, which obviously they couldn't make the latte art and stuff on, and bring out the cute little saucer. So they bring that out, and then 3 seconds later they bring out the hot latte with the saucer that said, "Will you marry me?" And they just like drop it on the table, and like this kid like frantically like ran away from me, because I like turned around and I was like, "Oh, we didn't order anything else," and he like just kind of stared at me and turned around and walked away, and I was like, okay. And then I looked down and like obviously I saw what it said, but it was just kind of funny like how like you guys had this sort of plan, and
yeah,
I don't know, it was fun though. It was cute.
And they painted on the cup and saucer, "Will you marry me?" And then you look at me and you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not proposing. I'm like, turn around.
Yeah, I didn't think you were proposing. But I was like, what are you up
But you
to?
looked at me and I'm like, oh my God.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
So good.
So that was really great. And that worked out well. And then there was another surprise for you that day.
Yes, it just kind of kept going. That was a long day.
It was a long day.
Yeah, so we drive back, and it gets even better with your terrible eyes.
I know.
It's like we're driving, so we get our, life together. We take some pictures, whatever. And then Mike is like, we have to go back to my parents' house. Like, they know I'm proposing today, whatever. I was like, sure. And at that point, obviously, like, Claire's mom has left with the car. So we're like, yeah, we'll just go in the same car. And then, like, on our way back, Claire makes an excuse to pull over by, like, a high school football field, with some bullshit story. So Claire has a New Jersey blog. It's called All Things New Jersey on Instagram. And she was like, oh, like this football field is famous for like some bullshit high school student.
I had to pull something out of my ass.
Like, she's like, just like pull over for a second. I just like need to take a picture. And I'm like, this is not real. Like, what are you doing? And anyway, so she gets out. And then what did you do? You like texted everyone that we were coming, I guess.
Yes, I had to tell everyone that we were coming, but they needed still a few minutes. And so I'm like, oh my God, like what the hell am I going to come up with? Like, in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
Yeah. So the surprise was Mike had all of my friends and everyone at his house waiting to surprise me with like an engagement party, essentially.
And we pulled this together in like 2-3 weeks, and like I was, it was really nerve-wracking because we're like, oh my gosh, if we're gonna pull this off, but we did.
I know, and it's funny because again, like it wasn't like an immediate surprise. Like we pulled into the driveway. Michelle comes out, Mike's mom, and like everyone's like all hugs and happy and whatever. And we go inside, and then like in Mike's house, you like walk in, and there's like, it's like a bi-level kind of house, and you go up the stairs, and like they had all the balloons out and like engagement decorations. Like, oh, this is so cute, like you guys decorated. And so I walked up to look at it, and then on the other side of like the foyer area, everyone was there, and they all like yelled surprise, and then I started ugly crying again, as I do.
Yeah, but luckily you were dressed up for the occasion, because the other thing was I told you that after the interview
we were going to a restaurant opening in Hoboken. And I'm like, that's such a Claire thing to do. So I didn't question that at all.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Claire would totally like go to a restaurant opening in Hoboken. Like, whatever. So yeah, that's why I was dressed up. That was her excuse to get me dressed.
It worked.
Yeah.
Got you there.
Yep. But it's funny because like I didn't think anything of going to the coffee shop. So in all the pictures, I'm like dressed up, and then I have like flip-flops on because my heels were in the car. And I was like, oh, we're just picking up coffee. Like, I'm not going to put my heels on right now. So in all the pictures, I have this like cute little sundress and everything on, and then flip-flops.
I remember because my mom shot me a look, because you said that you were going to keep your shoes in the car for later, and my mom shot me a look, and she was like, and I'm like,
nothing you can do about that now.
I'm like, I can't make her put the shoes on.
Yeah, but I think that just kind of adds to it. It's like, oh yeah, it was actually a surprise.
Yeah,
because I didn't really have any clue. I mean, I thought you were being weird. I'm like, why do you need me to go to your interview? Like, you're a grown up, but. You're also Claire, and you're my best friend. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I asked you to do everything with me. I almost needed you to write the wedding speech for your wedding.
Your Maid of Honor speech.
Right. Basically, it was just crying hysterically the entire time.
Yep.
Yeah, lit. That was good.
Yeah. So we did that. And then basically a week or two later, we had the like Hindu engagement ceremony where like,
yes,
you did like all the Indian people things, and my whole family was there, and Claire, as per the usual, was late and actually missed it, and then came for like the dinner part after.
Yeah, Radhika texted me, they're like, Claire, everyone's been waiting for you to get here, and I'm like, I thought this wasn't a big deal type part. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know.
The issues with having a not Indian maid of honor.
In denial that my best friend is getting married.
I know, you were like an hour late. Like, we were just like, we're just gonna start, and like she'll just come whenever. And like the whole thing finished, and we started eating dinner, and then Claire shows up. I'm like, and typical Claire fashion, she's like an hour late.
Right on time for the food.
I know, we barely got her here on time today, so.
Hey, I was only 15 minutes late today. That's a record.
I know, Mike was like, give her a treat, she might be on time. Jokes.
Made it. Couldn't miss this.
I know. And then we got to wedding planning.
Ooh.
Actually, no, we didn't get to wedding planning. We gave you like 2 weeks notice that we were getting legally married.
Yeah, you gave me 2 weeks notice. And this is the best part, guys, is that she was like, oh, just come over and sign the witness papers from City Hall. And I'm like, all right, well. She just said, she goes, it's not a big deal. Just come over. I'm like, okay, like come over in sweats, t-shirt? Or like, is it something I'm going to have to be dressed up for? And if I come over in sweats, you can curse on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking like an asshole. So I'm like, no. Basically, I'm so glad I didn't listen to her for once, and I got dressed up because it turned into what we called the white wedding.
Yep.
At her in-laws' house, where her mother-in-law, or soon-to-be mother-in-law at this point, had, catered food and both sides of the family over.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cute. We went through the details of it, I think, on the last episode or somewhere, one of them, maybe the Mike episode.
It was really cute.
It was cute. And so for that, we didn't have like our whole bridal party there. We just had my maid of honor, Claire, and then Mike's best man, which was his twin brother. And that was cute. So we gave you like 2 weeks notice on that one. I was like, clear everything, be there.
Be there.
And Chelsea did the ceremony, which was super fun, who was also one of my bridesmaids. And then we started like wedding planning for the Indian wedding, because my mom was like not letting go of having like a big Indian wedding. And like I wanted a destination wedding, because I was like, I really don't want it to be that big. Like I want like 10 people in like a waterfall in Bali. Like that's what I want. And she's like, no, but then we'll just have like a reception here. And I'm like, the whole point is me not having to plan a wedding. Do you not grasp this? Whatever. But
you were adamant you did not want to have a wedding.
Yeah, I really didn't.
I had a hard time getting you to walk down the aisle with flowers, but then once you did it, you were happy you did it.
Yeah, it just turned into a whole thing.
That's typical with you. You say no to things, and then once you do them, you're like, all right, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and then so we got engaged in September, and then like in December we got legally married with the American wedding, and then we basically had like 6 months to plan an Indian wedding, which was a lot, because originally the date I picked was a Saturday in August, so it would have given us roughly 8 months to plan it. And of course, like my mom has to consult her astrologer for all of this, because Indian people can't do anything without consulting their astrologer. And she's like, she calls me like frantically in like mid-January. She's like, we can't do it that day. We can't do it. Like, I think it was like August 14th or 15th. And she's like, the stars are not aligned. We can't do it. All the priests said it's a bad idea. I called like 5 priests, and they all said that's a bad day to get married. I'm like, I mean, but she was like having a fit about it. So I was like, well, I don't know when else you want me to do this. And I didn't want like a super long engagement. And she had already signed a contract with like the wedding venue. So like now we're stuck with whatever dates they had left. And so we ended up with a Sunday wedding, which I wasn't like thrilled about, but whatever. And so July 7th was like the only option. And so that cut our timeline down to like 6 months, which was so great.
It worked out though.
It worked out. Everything kind of fell into place, and like nothing that crazy. Nothing really went wrong. Everything just
everything really worked out. The only thing I thought about was, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we gotta get her bachelorette going.
Yeah. It was a lot of short notice for some people, but I mean, everyone who needed to be there made it, and everyone who mattered made time. And really all of our guests came. Pretty much everyone we invited.
Yeah, no, it was a full wedding. I mean,
yeah, we had a full-blown 3-day Indian wedding. We did, so what did we do? We did the mehndi, and I guess like the sangeet all combined into one. Like my cousins did the dances. Everyone got the henna and all of that. And then that was Friday. Saturday we had the santak, and then a kind of like rehearsal dinner party with Mike's family at like a restaurant. And then Saturday was the wedding and the reception. So yeah. And we also chose to have like a full-on bridal party. Like most Hindu Indian wedding ceremonies, you don't have like a maid of honor and bridesmaids and matching outfits, but we chose to do that. So we had the best man, we had the maid of honor, we had 6, 7 bridesmaids and 5 groomsmen. And then, yeah, we had the flower girl. We did all of that good stuff.
That was a lot of fun.
It was super fun, but like coordinating that was hard.
Yeah.
Because not everyone was Indian, and it was like hard to, there was a lot of like explaining that had to get done.
The dress ordering
that was a nightmare.
The fun part.
Yeah, if someone wants to start an Indian version of David's Bridal, that would be great. They would be so successful, because this is becoming a thing where like in Indian weddings you have a bridal party and everyone matches, but trying to get matching Indian clothes, if you've ever tried that, is not a thing.
And the panic of getting the dress on time was like something else.
Exactly. And we kind of had, if you went in store, a lot of the stores charge like an obscene amount of money, and they don't have varied sizes. They have like extra small and like medium, and being anything beyond that is almost impossible to find.
Right.
And if it is like, they'll charge you more for that, and like they're never gonna have like 7 of the same outfit. And so I took the risk, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna order it online. We're gonna order it like a few months in advance, and that should give them enough time, and just kind of take the risk of things maybe not fitting perfectly, but like just like preparing for that, like just being like, you know what, it's probably not gonna be be perfect and take a while to come in because we're ordering it from India and we're ordering it online. But, you know, we consulted online a lot, and we ordered from Lashkara, and that had the best reviews of, like, all of the online retailers. And, like, you know, they made everything to measure. Everything came tailored, so everyone just got their dresses, got their measurements put in, and ordered it. And pretty much they all came, like, somewhat appropriate.
They
like,
did.
It fit
They came
everybody.
on time. There was messages like from Lashkar that were about
They were like very late coming in. So if you are ordering online from Indian websites, give yourself like at least 5 months
definitely
to have a comfortable cushion to get your outfits, because they'll say it'll be like 6 to 8 weeks, but then you'll get all these random emails with excuses as to why things aren't getting done, and it's getting
fight.
Yeah,
Your
you have to,
family
like,
told me to fight with them.
yeah,
and
like
I'm
literally
I don't
just
wanna
harass
fight.
them to get it done.
Yeah.
Because, and like the thing is, it's a lot cheaper. Like, I think all of your dresses came out to like $100 to $120 each. Whereas if you bought them here in New Jersey and Edison, they would have been at least $300 a piece.
Yeah.
And we would have had to order them from India, and,
it
would have been
stunning. They
full.
were absolutely stunning. The colors that you picked, I mean,
yeah,
and the
it all
jewelry
worked
that you
out.
gifted us.
So I gifted the jewelry to all my bridesmaids as like my thank you gift, instead of like getting them an actual something separate. I just got their hair and makeup done, and I got their jewelry because I thought it was just more useful. And also because most of my bridesmaids were not Indian, a lot of them didn't have the jewelry and all of that stuff, and I wanted them all to match. And you guys looked great. Everyone looked so
Beautiful. Good. It was just...
Yeah, our color scheme turned into like gold, like a light blue and pink, and like a cream color.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, the groomsmen just ordered gold, like, kurtas, and those we just ordered from India. And it's so easy for the guys because men's Indian clothes are just their suit jacket size. So if they know their jacket size in an American suit, that's all we had to order. We didn't have to get anything tailored or fitted. It was just the bridesmaid dresses, which were a hassle. But it all came. Everything worked out. Everyone fit into their clothes. And everyone looked great. So that was fun.
Yeah. And you provided those really fun videos, too, of how to measure yourself. In case you didn't have a tailor to go to that knew how to properly measure and fit
so
you.
If you go on YouTube, you can basically find any video to show you how to measure a blouse and a choli, like the skirt and everything. So I just sent that to my bridesmaids and was like, all right, go online, measure yourself, watch the video, plug in the numbers, and
super helpful.
Yeah, so everyone's when they came in pretty much fit. There was a little bit here and there we had to adjust for some people, but it wasn't anything major. It wasn't like you can't wear this.
Right.
So
no,
I don't know.
It really did work out, and I think the matching, like, that's me personally. I love the matching bridesmaids.
Yeah.
It
worked out.
Beautiful.
Yep. The groomsmen are easy. And then at night, we chose to let the girls wear whatever they wanted because, again, since most of my bridesmaids weren't Indian, I didn't want to force anyone to wear Indian clothes at night or, like, have to buy more stuff. But it works out again because you all just borrowed each other's stuff.
Right. And, I mean, I ordered, and because I was so excited to wear an Indian
that
dress.
was another thing. My bridesmaids were so hyped. They're like, no, we'll just, like, buy stuff. And I'm like, well, if you're going to buy it, buy something you like. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to wear to the reception. And the groomsmen, we had them get matching Indochino suits, but we didn't do jackets for them. Only Mike had the vest and the jacket, and then Alex, as best man, had the jacket with suspenders, and the groomsmen all just did bow ties and suspenders with the shirt and pants. Which is nice,
because in a traditional wedding, like an American wedding, like the groom is normally identified separately with some sort of added piece of clothing, like the vest. So that was nice.
Yeah. And then the way we differentiated the Maid of Honor was Claire's dress actually came off the shoulder, which was supposed to be all of the dresses, but they all came boat neck, which is fine. But Claire's actually came off the shoulder. So her dress was a little different. And she wore the necklace with her outfit. The other girls didn't. They just wore earrings and the tico, and your hair was different.
My hair was different.
Your hair was different, and you had the same flowers in your hair as mine.
I know, that was really special to me, actually.
Yeah, that was cute.
I could think
we both had the same flower pieces in our hair.
I could, like, cry thinking about that.
Yeah.
But it was very emotional for me.
I think it was emotional all around. There was, like, a lot of, like, happy tears.
Like, very
throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. The nice part also about the bridesmaids is my 3 cousins were also bridesmaids. So, like, they kind of were great about like helping the other girls with like, where do you get Indian clothes? How do you wear this? Like, what do you need for all these different days and bits?
Fixing the dress on the day of with the pins.
Yeah.
And, you know, the secrets behind getting the
tico.
Yeah, to stay on your forehead with lash glue, like things
yeah,
that we're
use
not gonna
eyelash
think
glue
about.
to get the tico to stay. And like little random tips, like if you do have a big bridal party, Amazon sells like kits of like 500 like multi-sized and colored safety pins. So I think it was like $6 for like 500 safety pins. And if you know Indian clothes, like, it's mostly safety pin and some fabric. So I bought one of those so that way we didn't have that issue the day of everyone. We had enough safety pins to match everyone's outfits to keep everyone together. And we weren't running around looking for like those little things that like when you're getting ready, you don't want to worry about. So
you were great
clutch.
about everything, honestly, because like even with the shoes, like you didn't see the shoes, you didn't care what shoes you wore, you just wanted us to be comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone to wear a certain type of shoe. I just said you guys couldn't wear heels because I'm 4'11", and even in heels, I'm only like 5'2", 5'3", and all of my bridesmaids, there's no transition. My bridesmaids are either like 5'9" and above or like 5'3" and above. And so even with heels, if you look at our wedding pictures, like none of my bridesmaids are wearing heels. I'm that short. I'm wearing 4-inch heels, and I'm a head shorter than every bridesmaid at my bridal party. So that was great. That was my only rule because I was like, it's already going to look weird that I'm so short. Yeah. So just like do me the favor. And nobody cared. They're like, absolutely. Like,
yeah, fine. Like, I don't even want to tell you what I wore under my dress.
Didn't you wear like Birkenstocks?
I totally did.
You were, yeah, because the chanya chori, like the skirt is so long, like you can't see shoes. So literally I was like, I don't give a shit. You can wear sneakers under there.
Right.
But
like I feel like other people would panic even if that were the case. Like you can't.
And the thing is, like when you walk down the aisle, you didn't have shoes on, so it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Everyone took their shoes off for that except me.
Yeah. Of course, if they were going to be visible, just for the record, I would not have worn Birkenstocks.
Duh. But luckily, Indian clothes, you don't have to worry too much about that. So that was that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Are we talking about The Bachelorette?
Oh, yeah, we could talk about The Bachelorette.
That was fun.
Claire planned that, so that's all her. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, I did. But
it was great. It was so fun.
It was a group effort with all the other bridesmaids because the whole thing with the wedding being pushed back into July versus August, I'm like, wow, we got to get this going. And I think I had it planned by February. Yeah. February, I had it planned because I just wanted it done, and not all the bridesmaids lived close together, so we didn't really get to meet. Planning to fly around February, March, when it's at the high because of spring break and school vacations. It was really difficult to find something reasonable to go away, and also we didn't want to compromise to just go away and go somewhere dingy. Like we wanted to go somewhere really nice because I'm like, we're not going somewhere crappy. And ironically, I said I'd rather go somewhere in New Jersey that's super nice than fly somewhere that's just like whatever, just to say we flew somewhere.
Yeah. I think there's also this like weird, like everything has to be Insta-worthy. So I feel like bachelorettes and bachelor parties have turned into this like over the top, like extravagant, like week-long vacation to like Miami with like a 5-star hotel, and like everything has to be Insta-worthy. And I was just like, I didn't want to put that burden on my bridesmaids. I just thought it was kind of silly. Like, yes, I wanted a fun bachelorette, but I wanted it more than anything to be relaxing, and I didn't want to put the pressure on them to take a week off from work and fly somewhere across the country or abroad, and like that becomes very expensive, and I was very conscious of that because my friends, like, I'm young, I'm only 26, so like all my friends are around that age. Like, you don't have like money to blow like that, and even if you do, I don't expect you to do it for a vacation that's not planned around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. But, we were all happy to celebrate your bachelorette because it's, this only happens once.
Yeah, but it was still so much fun.
It was so much fun. Blast. So what we did was we eliminated the flying factor, and we said, where could we go that's drivable? And we looked at places like in Maine. We looked at Rhode Island. We even looked at the Hamptons. But then the question was not only a nice location, but somewhere that you can have fun. So Disha really didn't have a lot of demand. She wanted like a relaxing weekend, like a spa kind of weekend, but also, a fun nighttime fun-filled weekend.
I
with,
didn't
like,
want to be like
dancing.
blackout drunk the entire time. That's like not my
No.
vibe. So
And I'm with you. Obviously, we're best friends, and I'm the same way as you. So that was easy for me to connect with what you wanted, because I'm like, okay. But I just had to find the place, and then I totally remembered that New Jersey has this awesome resort called Crystal Springs Resort, up in North Jersey.
yeah, it's up in the mountains. Like you wouldn't even think you were still in New Jersey when you get there.
Yeah, and I actually had never been there, but from everyone that I asked around said that they've always had a great experience there, and they already had a pre-bachelorette package, which was great, and we all just booked through that, and we got a suite and booked the spa all at the same time, and they had various pools. I mean, it was just beautiful. I mean, naturally set on a beautiful landscape. The resort itself is gorgeous.
Yeah, it had outdoor pools. It had golf courses, like horseback riding, like all these like outdoor patios. It had like the indoor pool, which was really cool.
Yeah, the indoor pool with the slide and everything.
Yeah,
was even
it literally
cool.
looked like you were on a tropical island. Like
You forgot you were here in New Jersey. You really did.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
and we were there for like 3 days. 3 days and 2 nights.
3 days and 2 nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did 3 days, 2 nights. And the cool part was, one of the selling factors on this place too was that we didn't have to go anywhere. Once you were there, you were there. You didn't have to
you didn't have to worry about how are we going to get somewhere? Are we going to Uber here? Are we going to get a ride there? Are we going to make a reservation here? Like the place had all the restaurants, the nightlife, the resort aspect, the spa. It was all there. And so once you were there, like you're all set.
The restaurants were great that were on site, and even the nightlife. Like they had a club, and like, listen, like, you are in the mountains, and I'm like,
yeah, it's not like a New York City nightlife.
No, but it was still fun.
But it was
had
fun.
A DJ and
yeah,
a bar, all that.
And they had really cool restaurants. We went to the farm to table one like 3 times because it was so good.
It was just this. What would you call that? Like
it was like in a garden.
In a
it was
garden,
like outside, but like in almost like an open barn.
Yeah,
but
it almost
not
looked
in
like
a tacky
the edge of
way.
a cliff. You felt what you were eating on the edge of a cliff that overlooked the mountain, and all you could see was out.
Yeah, the sunsets at night were like breathtaking.
Amazing. I think I put them on my blog if anyone's curious to see.
Yeah,
them. If you have Instagram,
or I'll pop it in my stories. I'm sure when I hype up this
we'll
episode.
put them on there because it really is great if anyone's here in this area, even in the tri-state area, and you need a place.
Yeah, even for just like a couple's getaway or something, it's really like romantic.
It is. It is. It totally is. They have events all year long. I mean, because we weren't going to do Atlantic City. We weren't going to do, Manhattan. That's been done. No, it's just too much. I mean, hey, for those that it works for, that's great, but not us.
Yeah, it was nice to just like get away and like take a break from the wedding planning because it was to do a wedding in 6 months is a lot, no matter what kind of wedding you're having.
Right.
So that was super fun.
Yeah.
And I think everyone had a good time.
We did. We definitely did.
Yeah. And then we got back from that and we went straight to wedding stuff.
Like your bridal shower. That was fun.
Yeah. So one thing Mike's mom insisted on having was a bridal shower, which was like more of an, like, I guess, American aspect to incorporate. And like for someone like me, who's literally, I've been to one other bridal shower and it was my best friend Jocelyn's and I was a bridesmaid in it. I had no idea what to expect. I like had no idea like what the concept of it was. And so that was the only one I had been to. And like, obviously she's my best friend and like it was my first American wedding. So I just like went with the whole thing. But because I wasn't raised with that whole idea, I just was like, I didn't feel the need to have one. But Michelle like really insisted. So like she took it on to throw a bridal shower.
Right. And I did agree with her on this because, the whole purpose of bridal shower is to help you get started because, the bridal shower gives you the things that you need in your home. And it's fun for the bride and groom, I think, because you get to go to the stores that you like and register and pick items that you think you need because those things can be costly. And especially after financing a wedding, it's difficult to go and afford all the nice fancy things you need for your new home.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm glad we did it. It just like took a little while to like wrap my head around it.
It did, yeah.
Because it was so foreign to me. But again, like going back to just like respecting other people's cultures and ideas as much as we expect other people coming into like a South Asian community to respect ours. The only like request I made is I didn't want to open the gifts in front of everyone. Which I know was like a bit of like, everyone's like, no, but like that's what you do at a bridal shower. I'm like, well, we can do something else. Like there's games and other stuff. Like,
right.
I just felt like too weird doing it. It wasn't me. And I'm like, how do you pretend to be like excited about like, oh my God, a spatula? Like, You know what I mean? It just felt like kind of,
Right.
it wasn't me. It wasn't like my style. And like my side of the family was obviously also going to be there. And again, it would have just been like, how do I explain this to them also?
Yeah. And you made a good point too, Dishes. You said that, you felt awkward about having people open gifts, and you're like, okay, thank the person who gave me a spatula, and then, thank the person who gave me, like, I don't know, the Smart Human products that are, like, expensive, or, like, the
Yeah. And like, obviously, it's
toaster oven.
still doing like the thank you notes and all of that. It was just kind of like, to me, it felt weird to like sit there and have everyone watch me open presents.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
to not make anyone feel bad about having given something that wasn't maybe as expensive.
Yeah, I think more than anything that bothered me is I didn't want people to feel like when I'm opening gifts where people start comparing like how much certain family members spent on you as opposed to other people. And I didn't want to have to put anyone through that, where it's like, oh, well, this person only spent this much and she's closer to the bride than like this person who spent more. And it's like, because I just didn't.
Yeah, no, you totally
made
made sense. I mean, listen, it's very traditional in my family and culture, whatever, to have bridal showers, but that perspective had never been brought to my attention. And when you said that, I'm like, wow, you're really right. Like, it is awkward to do that. And one thing that I wish I had done going back was something that some people do is they have the gifts wrapped in cellophane. So that it's just, you can see it, because people, for whatever reason, they do like to see what you get. And that would have been a way of doing it without presenting it or calling out anyone and identifying anyone with what they got, but then showing your gifts. But it was too late by then, and whatever, hindsight.
Yeah, it was still fun, though. You guys did a really cute job with it. It was like a tea party themed bridal shower. It was
super
fun.
Cute.
Everyone was super cute. And so, yeah, we did have a bridal shower. That was something else we incorporated. And then did we do anything else besides that before the wedding? I don't think so.
No, then we got really into, like, the wedding stuff. And
then it was, like, balls deep Indian wedding.
Yes.
It was, like, full blown, like, going into it. And so I invited our bridal parties, at least, like, the bridesmaids. I just was like, come to everything. Because, like, the mehndi is obviously for the girls, and, like, the sangeet part we combined into it. And everyone, like, I feel like people were nervous, like, oh, how do we explain our culture to, like, all these people who aren't Indian? That was, like, my family's concern. I was like, honestly, my bridesmaids are, like, in it. Like, they're here for it.
Yeah,
and so,
we totally were.
They were there for everything. And they got the mehndi done, and they, like, did all the dances and, like, got all super involved. And you guys somehow managed to wear Indian clothes every single part of it. I was expecting, like, I was like, all right, you don't have to wear Indian clothes for, like, the first 2 days. And the last day, we already picked out your outfits. And they were like, yeah, okay, sure. And by the time the wedding happened, they all had Indian clothes for every single event.
We were so excited about it. I mean, because
it was fun. And my family was so shocked. They're like, they're really into this. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't, I mean, it's foreign, but they're still, like, open and excited about it. And because what we did in a traditional, like, Hindu wedding, like, the bride's family has their events and the groom's family has their events, and they're completely separate. The families don't really come together until the last day, the day of the wedding. But because we had a fusion wedding and we were like, well, we could do whatever we want, we combined everything. So Mike's side of the family was invited to with my family. Like, we didn't have separate events. We just, like, the mehndi was everyone. The santak was everyone. Like,
it was so nice. It was nice. I mean, I got personally lucky because my mom had Indian clothes sitting in her closet that she has been dying to have an excuse to wear. And I'm like, great. Because I didn't realize how, I mean, I knew, but oh my gosh, even the simplest of outfits are so expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Be prepared. If if you have friends that don't have Indian clothes, help them out or direct them into the right stores or take them shopping.
And again, having my cousins in the bridal party helped. I feel like they hooked you guys up too. Jocelyn was borrowing some of their clothes and all of that, because it is really only a few days, and, like, you guys are really never gonna wear it again.
I mean, I will, but
you're just walking around. I know Jocelyn's like, I'm just gonna go home and walk around my house in this because I feel like Jasmine.
She looked like Princess Jasmine. Yeah, she was saying I look like Princess.
Yeah, Jasmine. I let Jocelyn borrow my engagement dress. I was like, well, it's not, because the dress Mike got me for the Indian engagement, it didn't fit. It had to get tailored, and when we brought it to the tailors, like, because it was off the shoulder, they're like, there's no way to tailor this. We'd have to build you a whole new blouse, and it was going to cost like an obscene amount of money. And so I was like, you know what, Jocelyn, it fits you like a glove, so take it. And so that's what she ended up wearing to the reception, and she looked great.
And that was the dress on your invites.
Yes.
To the wedding.
So my wedding invites, that was the dress we had drawn on. And for the invites, instead of doing a traditional like get engagement pictures and do all that, we had my friend's girlfriend, she's an artist, and so we had her draw us, and that drawing, and she made the border and everything in my color scheme, and that was what we used for our invites. And because we had such short notice on the wedding, we kind of built our wedding invite to look like a save the date, because it had the picture of us and the date of the wedding and our names and everything. And then on the other side, we had all the wedding info.
Oh, that was the other thing. We made you a not.com website.
A wedding website.
A wedding website. That was new for you.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, what do you mean a wedding website? And Claire just made it because she's Claire. And you did such a good job as Maid of Honor, because, like, I feel like you were the kid who, like, always, like, knew, like, what kind of wedding she wanted. Like, you're into weddings, you know?
Yeah,
like, you love the dresses and all of that. Whereas I was the kid that was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'll pass.
But there was also something about doing it for you, because, like, to me, it was so important to have everything that you would want, you know, and make it right. Like, almost like...
That's the kind of Maid of Honor you want, by the way.
It, like, I don't know. Like, it was just, there was not an option to have anything done, like, anything be half-assed. Yeah. It was just not an option for me. And it's just, like, because to me, in my mind, like, I don't know, like, you know, you're like a sister to me. So I'm like, I need this to be perfect for her. Like, more than I would need it for it to be perfect for myself. Like, it needed to be everything that you wanted. Nothing could be a disappointment for you.
That's really the idea of, like, a bridal party. And, like, when you are the bride, like, the way I see it is, like, everyone else's job is just to, like, tell you look great and make sure you're happy. Like, those days of your wedding should, you know, you shouldn't be stressing out or worrying about anything. Everyone else just needs to handle it at that point. Right. Because... not that it's all about you, but, like, these are your moments. And if you're not surrounded by people who can take that time to, like, give you that day, like, that's not the right people.
No.
Because it was nice. Like, it was so nice. Like, the 3 days of the wedding itself were, like, so not stressful.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I got there and I was just like, I'm here. I'm in it. Everything's done. There's nothing left to do. I just have to go with it now.
Minus the part where I left the bustiers in the van.
The bustiers or the... the boutonnieres. What she means is the boutonnieres, everybody.
It's me.
She left the boutonnieres in the shuttle going from the hotel to the venue. So that was great.
Yeah, because somehow I thought that you were going to take that shuttle.
Yeah, we didn't.
I know.
We got left behind because we took so long to get ready for the reception. And so we just told everyone to just go. And we ended up hitching a ride with our photographers, who you'll meet in another episode because they're going to be on for the wedding series too.
Oh, that's so exciting. They're great. They're really great.
They're so fun, but they ended up giving us a ride to the reception because we took forever to get ready in typical Indian fashion. We were late. That's okay.
And,
who cares?
Well, Jocelyn's husband came to save the day with the boutonniere, so that was good.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks for saving the day.
Yeah, thank you. Cut my head on my shoulders.
I mean, you weren't going to lose your head over it. I mean, I feel like my mom would have been more mad about it than I was because my mom was really, like, fussed about who got the boutonnieres and all that. I don't know why. Yeah, I was just like, whatever.
It worked out. But, of course, you know, I'm always hard on myself. And I felt like that was my one mess up for the day.
It's okay. That's nothing major. It's not that serious. What was the best part about being my maid of honor?
Oh, the best part about being your maid of honor. Oh, my gosh. I that's hard because, I mean, everything was so much fun. I think it was cool that I got to be a part of your proposal because that's not typical to get to be a part of your proposal. So that was a lot of fun that Mike was like, you know, incorporate what you think would be great to happen. So that was a lot of fun. The best part of the wedding, my favorite part was honestly the wedding itself. Like, it was so much fun. I've been in a lot of weddings. I've been to a lot of weddings. And I'm not just saying this because you're my best friend, honest to God. It was so much fun, like dancing the garba at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Do you say the garba or garba?
Just garba.
Oh, okay. Garba. That was so much fun. And, okay, wait. obviously this is one of my favorite parts, was you waited till the end of the night, like towards the end of the night, to be like, Claire, we're gonna go and have a best friend photo shoot. And I'm like, what? I'm like,
Oh yeah, it's like 10 p.m. And we were like, yeah, we can have a best friend photo shoot with our photographers. And so they took us out into the back in like the garden area and the gazebo, and they had all these like lights and fog and everything set up. Yeah. And it was cute.
It was just so cute. But to me, Disha didn't know at the time, because I was trying not to get, more crying than I already had done for my Maid of Honor speech. But that meant so much to me, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like such a special moment. Giving you your speech. Wow. I really thought like I'm going to be cool, calm, collected. Absolutely not. I think there was a puddle under me with all my tears by the time I was done. I couldn't look at you, and I kept looking at you. I could cry right now.
I don't know who cried more, you or Mike during Alex's speech. It was so funny. We went to take the picture after Alex's best man speech, and Mike was like almost sobbing, and the DJ just goes, "You look great, Mike. Don't worry about it. You look great." Because his like eyes are all red, his cheeks are pink. Like, yeah, it was really funny.
But that was really great. Nikki made me feel better actually about my speech. She was like, I hope my Maid of Honor gives a speech like you did. And I'm like, really? I thought I messed it up. I didn't know what I was saying. I mean, I knew what I was saying, but I was like, oh my gosh, I just cried the whole time. But yeah, it was just just the best day. It really was.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing we did eliminate that Claire mentioned was the Garba. So we didn't have a Garba night for our wedding because like we just like didn't have the time, and I didn't. Again, like Mike and I helped like fund the wedding. It wasn't just our parents, and we didn't want to like put an extra event on them. But instead, what we chose to do was to wrap up the night at the reception. The last 30 minutes, they played Garba music to help, because usually by then, like most people have already kind of left and gone their separate ways. But like, there's still obviously a lot of people still there, and so to like tone it down and also like break up the dancing, we had the Garba at the end for the last 30 minutes, and that was really nice. It was just like such a fun wind down, and again, like Garba's pretty easy, especially to learn. Like it's very simple, and so like all of Mike's family, was able to join in and dance, and like all of my family. Dancing. There was so much dancing.
Part. So much dancing. That was another, I mean, like I said, I can't really pinpoint one favorite part, but learning to do the dance with Alex, the best man, that was a lot of fun. Your family was clutch in that, because they were great teachers teaching us to dance. And I'm like, and Alex was like, kept saying, you got this, Claire, you win this, you got this. I'm like, of course I got this. Day of, naturally got nervous, definitely botched it a little bit, but you know what,
it was cute though. I really appreciated it because they surprised me. Alex and Claire surprised me with like a little mini Indian dance routine that my cousins helped them choreograph, so that was really cute. And then we had the big group dance that was like 15 minutes that I was in, Mike was in, bridesmaids,
awesome. You and your cousins.
Everybody.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
That was so fun. I've watched that video 1,001 times. I'm still gonna keep watching it. It's great.
Yeah, you put that on your story recently, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I did. Yeah.
You did. You know what was cool? What was I'm forgetting the name of the parade in the beginning.
The Barat.
The Barat.
That was so fun. Oh my God, so fun.
You were awesome, because you literally go, this is my party, whatever, because I guess you're not supposed to be.
Yeah, so the bride's not supposed to be there, but I shoved everyone out there, like my parents, my grandma, all of my family, because usually it's just the groom family making the entrance. But I was like, no, everyone's going to be there. This is our wedding. This isn't just like Mike and or like whatever. It's like, this is everybody. This is both of our families. And so I just shoved everyone out there, and I waited at the door with me and my bridesmaids. And eventually my mom was like, well, we can't go out there. Like, you can't go there. The bride's not supposed to be there. I'm like, this is my party. I'm going to do whatever I want. And that's what I did.
You did. And you literally just went flying out the door, and we're like, let's go.
Exactly. And we all had like matching sunglasses with the bridesmaids, and I had my sunglasses, and we all came out. And it was fun because the sunglasses were like the same shade of pink as my dress.
Those sunglasses that you gifted us were awesome.
Yeah. And so, because originally the wedding was supposed to be outside, but it was like supposed to thunderstorm every day of my wedding. And so I had to make the call to have it inside, which was the only thing I would change. Is like, I really wish I got my outdoor wedding. We took all the pictures and stuff outside. It ended up not raining at all during my wedding.
Outside too?
No, but I think there's supposed to be like an outdoor cocktail hour or something.
Oh,
and
okay,
they
okay.
couldn't do that because I just
Yeah.
changed everything last minute. Because you have like 48 hours to notify them if you want it inside
Got
or
it.
outside.
The Barack could have just been the wedding. Like, I mean, like,
It
that was
was
already
so fun.
so much fun. Like, if
Yeah.
that was indicative of how the wedding, the rest of the
Yeah.
night was going to go.
It was lit.
Yeah.
It was so lit because again, like we forced everyone to go out there, and then me and all my bridesmaids like showed up halfway through, and like we have Mike up on the Jeep. We've got all the groomsmen out there, all my cousins, everyone is there, and it was so fun. And like I didn't care, like because I wasn't super fussed about like my hair and my makeup and my dress and all of that. I was just like out there dancing, and I like
you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you
I
were
had
just
fun.
in it.
Yeah, I was like,
did.
I don't care if my
Yeah.
hair gets messed up or my shoes get messed up, like whatever. And none of it did. Shout out to my hair and makeup team. My like whole look for the day like stayed together the entire time.
Yeah,
like
nothing fell apart. Nothing.
No.
Makeup didn't fade. The hair stayed. I mean,
Yeah,
we had a great your team
Yeah.
that you hired was
our,
awesome.
Our hair and makeup team was awesome. So we had Darshita was our Mehndi lady, and
Oh.
she was amazing.
Your
like,
henna was,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
it was so fun. She did such a good job. She's so talented and so nice. She's so sweet. She came with an like her, I guess, her assistant, and they did it for everyone, all the girls that were at the henna night. And Mike and Alex both got henna too on their hands because they were just like, yeah, we're here, we're gonna do it too. And it was funny because she was like, the groom doesn't normally get like henna, like they'll get the girl's name in their palm or something. I'm like, yeah, well, he wants it, so we're just gonna do it. And Mike was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. It looks cool. So he did it. Alex also had it. She did a wonderful job. She also did my hair and my draping the day of. And for that, I like really needed like someone very familiar with like an Indian wedding because like you have the headpiece and the deco and like how do you navigate all of that. But she was great. She was awesome.
She
So
did all
shout
of
out
our
to
hair
her.
and-
Yeah, she did everyone's hair for the wedding. It was awesome.
it was beautiful.
Flowers and all. And then Joe is my makeup counter friend at MAC. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to bother trying to find a makeup artist. Like, can you just come? And she was like, of course. And so she did. She and her friend came and got all the girls ready for the morning and night. Same thing with Darshita, morning and night for all of that. It was super fun.
That was super fun. I remember when Joe was doing your makeup. I heard for the first time "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo, and you were like, "Claire, this is not a wedding song."
Yeah, well, we're like, okay, so we're on our way to the venue in the morning for the wedding, and Claire starts blasting "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo, and I was like, this is not it. I'm about to walk down the aisle. This is not it. Like, can we pay something else?
It was funny.
Yeah, I was like, okay, guys. I still scream that song now, but maybe not the day of my wedding.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, I didn't really know that song at the time. It was like new. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. That, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Best day ever.
It was super fun. And then we're just going to keep saying that. It was super fun over and over again.
It really was. I mean,
Yeah.
guys, when you have a wedding, just don't have a wedding that you have to think about every moment. Have a wedding that you actually enjoy.
Yeah. And don't freak out about everything all the time. Because then you'll just be miserable. You know?
It'll be fine.
Like my jewelry, like the long necklace I wore in the morning, it broke. The
Yes,
bottom. So like
it did.
this is even before the bra. Like it's not even I danced too much and it broke. Like it just, the bottom pendant just like dangled off. And I was just like, it's okay. I have a bouquet. I'm just going to hold the bouquet and no one can see that it's broken.
Right.
And, I just didn't fuss about it. And then my uncle showed up with like a piece of string and like pulled it together and tied it up. And you couldn't even see that it was broken anymore.
That was fascinating to watch. Like how he did. I'm like, how is this man gonna do this? Nope, he did it.
Yeah. Good
And it
job,
was
Nana.
fine. You didn't panic about anything. You weren't worried about anything. Like you wanted to be a good time. And I love how you took like the traditions of your culture and then modernized them. Like, the whole putting everyone together with the bra and, incorporating the bridesmaids. Like, you kept it traditional, but then you modernized it too.
Yeah. That was
And you put the
definitely
New
fun.
York skyline across your legs with the henna.
Oh, yeah. So across the top of my legs, my Mehndi had the New York skyline go straight across, like Freedom Tower and everything. That was really fun.
It was beautiful. I'm like, only you.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Definitely change that up a little. I think that's becoming more common, though. The whole adding, like, more personal elements to your Mehndi. We also did the BT, so that was fun. And, like, all the bridesmaids and everyone got to, like, turn me and Mike yellow, which I think you guys had fun with.
Yeah, Radhika made sure she did a good job at making sure that the mixture wasn't gonna like actually like
make you break out or stain.
Yeah.
Especially because like Mike is white. And like, oh, my whole family was like, he's gonna turn yellow, like he's gonna get stained. And so like they were like more gentle with him because like they didn't want to worry about it. And then with my nails, we just put Vaseline all over my nails because they were white, all over like my toes. And then afterwards, if anything did stain, toothpaste. It worked like a charm. I just put some toothpaste on it, let it sit for a little bit, and the stain came right off. And by the time the day of the wedding came, my nails looked totally fine because I know that's a concern.
How'd you learn to put toothpaste on that?
I think someone on Facebook told me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were like, just trust me. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And it worked. So, try it out if you are a bride.
Yeah, your aunties made sure that I put...
My aunties were lit.
Yeah, on your face. They're like, make sure you put it on the face.
Yeah, you do your face, they do the shoulders.
Like, her face.
They're like, are you sure? Like, yep, that's how this does. That's what we do.
Great.
The Santag that's more like traditional religious stuff. So, but you guys were great. You just sat. My family was so amazed. They're like, everyone is sitting there so nicely. Like, we can't even get our kids to sit there nicely. And all your bridesmaids and groomsmen are just sitting there so politely, like being so respectful. And then like one of my aunts was like, guys, get up. You don't have to hang out for this. Like, go hang out outside. Go get some food. Like, this isn't like, exciting. No. They're like, no, it's rude. Like, no, it's not rude. Just get up and go get a snack. It's fine. And then apparently that's when you guys were all doing dance practice in the basement. So
yeah, that's when we were all learning our dances. That's when Alex and I snuck in some practice time. Actually, I think that's actually when we learned it.
Yeah, probably. It was very last minute.
Yeah, but that traditional Clair fashion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well, it worked out.
Yep. And then wedding day was pretty smooth overall. Yeah. We got a hotel nearby, and that's where everyone got ready. Me and my bridesmaids stayed there the night before because we got up. Our wake-up call was like 3:45 in the makeup chair.
Yeah, you were like 3:45. I thought you were joking. I'm like, all right, I could get like 5:30. And you're like, no, Claire, 3:45. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
like my makeup artists were like there with the chairs and their lighting. The hair team showed up right on time. Even like the film crew, the photographers, like everyone was there for it. And so yeah, so before, because you don't have a rehearsal dinner or like a rehearsal for Indian weddings, we did I basically had everyone FaceTime in with me, like the entire bridal party, groomsmen and bridesmaids, everyone, and I typed up a timeline of the entire 3 days. So like basically breaking it all down, what you should be wearing, the location, the address, the times, where you need to be, if anyone needed to be anything specific. I allocated jobs to different people so they knew ahead of time. Because I told everyone, I was like, listen, the days of the wedding, Mike and I are off the grid. We are not available to answer questions. We're not going to tell you what to do and where to be. You need to be on top of it. And so we broke it all down. The day of the wedding, I had like a literal timeline from like 3:45 a.m. to like 11 p.m. Like every pretty much important thing where someone had to be somewhere or do something or where everyone needed to be for what. And everyone's roles in the wedding, because the bridesmaids, we had them walk down with the diwa in their hand, the little candles, and the groomsmen, I had them carry the little canopy behind me or like over me when I walked down the aisle. So things like that, or like who was in charge of what, like in charge of like bouquets and flowers, who was in charge of keeping track of like the vendors, because all the vendors will ask for like, who do we contact for such and such. So like, Alex is in charge of like the photo team. Claire, you're in charge of my phone and my wallet or whatever. All those things. And we had it all broken down, written out, FaceTimed, and answered any questions. And it was quick. It was like an hour FaceTime. And that took so much pressure off during the wedding, because everyone knew what to do, where to be, what to wear, where it was. No questions about anything.
It was super helpful. I mean, Tisha, you took the time to explain everything, You couldn't have done anything differently because, we didn't know, obviously, okay, Radhika obviously knew what to expect, but the rest of us didn't know. And, those FaceTimes that we did, those sessions that we did, like, explaining everything, and even the paper that you left on the ceremony, the day of the ceremony, on the chair.
Oh, yeah, the program, the wedding
program. Yeah, the program. That was great.
Yeah.
That really was
We
well
broke
explained.
the whole ceremony down in English, all the steps, what's happening, all the important parts.
To know what the priest was saying.
Yeah, the priest did it in English, most of the ceremony, as much as he could, besides the prayers, and explaining what was going on and why we were doing it. And he was awesome.
If you see this happening, this is what's going on. Like,
yeah, we had pictures, like little like cartoon images of everything, and we left them on all the chairs so that way all of the guests knew what was happening. And I think a lot of like even the younger family members on my side appreciated it, because like I feel like we're not really taught what happens during a Hindu ceremony. You're like, you just go and like whatever.
Yeah.
But like no one really knows exactly what's happening. So a lot of them were like, it was cool. Like even we got to learn something and like really know what was happening.
I think one of the interesting parts was that while you and Mike were still up at on the altar, we were told to go and eat.
Oh yeah.
And we all were confused. We were like, we go and eat?
Yeah,
we just leave them?
Because Hindu ceremonies are so long, and we did like the Spark Notes version. It was like 90 minutes to 2 hours. You serve like snacks and food and stuff in the back, so that was also a thing. Yeah, and it's not rude. You just go hang out. I told them the only part I really want you to be there is like when we walk around the fire 7 times or whatever. That all the bridesmaids and groomsmen were there to throw the flowers, and they were, so it was all good.
Yeah.
And everyone did their thing.
You went to Starbucks. Don't forget to mention
that. Yeah. The Starbucks thing. So since Mike and I met on a coffee date, and most of our relationship was based on getting coffee because we were 2 broke college kids trying to go on dates. As soon as we got married, we drove off in the Jeep, and we didn't tell anybody about this. We only told our photographers and film people that we were going to go for a Starbucks run. So fully decked out post-wedding ceremony in the Jeep, no doors on, drove about, 2 miles? It was like a not even 10-minute drive to the closest Starbucks, and walked right in, and we ordered coffee, and it was a total scene, and it was so fun. And we had a coffee date. Like we sat down and we chit-chatted and we had coffee, and, you know, our photographers popped in and our film people to take pictures and stuff, but it was just like, and it was nice having like a moment of the day that was just ours. Like we didn't tell anyone we were doing this. I think I might have mentioned it to you.
You did.
I mentioned it to you.
I kept it hush hush.
But we really didn't tell anybody. And we had like 15 minutes of that day that was just for me and Mike. That was just ours. And even though it was only 15 minutes, like it was so nice.
I think I actually asked you because on the way to, because you went after the ceremony.
Yeah.
And I think I asked you on the way because we passed by the ceremony, because I actually drove you to your ceremony.
Right. Yeah, when we were driving to the hotel a few days before, you were like, oh, there's a Starbucks right here. Like,
we should go on your wedding day.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, we are. We just like didn't tell anyone.
This is why we're besties.
Yeah. It was really cute. The staff there was great about it. Lots of like random strangers were like taking pictures of us.
I think Starbucks should have a poster.
There's like this one little like Indian girl there with her family, and like she was like, oh my God.
That's so cute.
It was really, she was like staring, and like mom was like, you know, you can go talk to her, like, you know, whatever. Aww. And she was like, no, like she was scared. She was young. But like lots of people stopped us to take pictures and stuff, and I like totally drove through like on the Jeep, like throwing my flowers out the window, and there's like a cop car behind us, and I was like, you're not gonna stop me, I'm the bride, I can do whatever I want. And he didn't. He just like carried on with his day. That's when you know the brat was super lit. The cops got called.
Oh yeah. And my mom said she had to deal with the cop that came, but she said that the cop even felt silly herself.
Oh, yeah. Like, they weren't going to stop the party. They were like,
no, they were like, this is ridiculous. It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday. You're at a wedding venue, an Indian wedding venue.
Yeah, like, everyone knows we're always loud and a lot. And the brat is always, like, the most, like, party-esque part in the morning.
The cop ended up apologizing because she was like, I have to do this just because, you know.
It's a formality. They called, so we have to come and, like, say something. But they're like, we're not going to stop this. We're not going to interrupt this ceremony. And, like, no one wants to face the bride.
I think they wanted to join.
Actually. Yeah, a little. Yeah, they kind of just like hung out from what I heard.
Yeah,
they
did.
Just,
they stuck around because they were like
cool.
amazed by everything, because they were like, what? And like,
yeah, and I think a lot of people were just curious because like obviously not everyone was Indian. Like the groom was American, and that always turns into like a whole scene when Mike's around.
Yeah, you just, oh my gosh, you're ceremony dress. We were talking about this earlier, that your ceremony dress was like beautiful, but that was a whole other
Oh yes,
ordeal.
the dress was a whole ordeal. So I bought, I mean, I had like 5 or 6 outfits, but the wedding dress itself, I actually had ordered online from another more reputable retailer. And actually, it came and it fit to the exact measurements. But it was my fault because I didn't put enough length on the skirt. So the blouse fit like a glove. The ordinary was perfect. But the skirt came like a little too short where you could see my feet, so I couldn't wear heels. And then it kind of like threw off the whole look, I guess, of the outfit. And this is like 2 weeks, not even before the wedding.
It was like a week.
Yeah, it was like a Thursday. The Thursday before the wedding was gonna start, and my aunts all saw that dress, were like, no, you can't wear that. Especially, and I also, like, because I didn't want like a traditional like red heavily like decorated Indian dress. I wanted something more low-key. It was very tooly, it was very summery. But Mike had a very not traditional sherwani, but he had a sherwani. It was pink and gold, and they
that
were
was
like,
a funny story.
What?
Well, look how Mike picked his outfit.
Oh yeah,
before
so that was the best part. Mike picked his outfit out like months before. Like he picked his outfit before I even started dress shopping. He was like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, oh great, so now I have to match you. And you know, because we both chose not to go down like the red and gold traditional outfit. He chose pink, which I loved, and he looked so cute in it. But that also made it really hard to dress shop, because most obviously vendors and wedding dress retailers are like, well, an Indian wedding dress is this like they would take you straight to the bridal section, straight to the super super heavy overdone wedding dresses. And I was like, that's not what I want. Like, I want, first of all, I want it to be pink and like cream and like whatever, or like peach. I wanted shades of peach in it. And they were all like, well, we don't have it. Or the ones that did, it was like $3,000. And like, we can make it custom. And I was like, absolutely not. Because that's just it was just getting ridiculous. And so I ended up ordering it online. And the shade of the color I chose was peach. But since Mike had gotten a pink sherwani, it didn't really match. And the skirt was too short. And so my aunts had a full-on freak out about it. And we're like, no, we need to go to Edison right now. We need to go get you another dress.
I wasn't against that though.
But it worked out because the store we went to Manyawar in Edison, and they weren't open when I was wedding dress shopping. Because I found the store lady, I was like, this is perfect. Everything here is so beautiful. Like, I would love a dress from here. But I had already ordered my dress. And then this kind of turned into an excuse to go there. And, you know, my aunts, being traditional Indian aunties, like harassed the shit out of the tailor to like get it done in 48 hours. Like they were like, if we like, they wouldn't even pay, like let me pay for the dress until they talked to the tailor and were like, will you get this done in 48 hours? The wedding is next week. Like, and it needs to fit her perfectly, whatever. So the dress we picked matched Mike's outfit perfectly. I had the pink ordinary, the cream colored dress.
It was beautiful.
The shade of pink perfectly matched the sunglasses on the bridesmaids' dresses. The gold brought everyone else's outfits in. So like my dress kind of reflected everyone else's outfits. I matched Michael. The tailor got it done in 48 hours. Shout out to you. It fit like a glove. And it was perfect.
I thought it worked out well. Like, I think that's the one time that I pushed you to, not that I didn't love the original dress that you had. It was stunning. But I'm thinking, okay, you know, this is your day. Get something that really speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That you can't do another day. Not that you could do your dress another, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted something more for you. That was where I kind of just, as you're looking out for you, I'm like, Disha, just go for the plunge. And that was kind of worked out.
And it was nice because I still got like a fairly non-traditional dress. It didn't have like stonework and stuff. It was just a lot of like, it was just embroidery. So it was all thread work. So it still kept the dress very light and airy. And it was a cream and pink kind of theme. I mean, I'm sure I'll post it on my Instagram. You can see it.
Yeah, you have that new painting that you have.
Oh yeah, we got one of our wedding pictures painted by the same girl who drew our invitations.
Stunning.
It's beautiful. So I got like the light summery colors and the non-traditional dress, but it was still like very glam and very bride-esque without weighing 1,000 pounds. Like, I was comfortable in my dress. I could dance in it. I could move in it. I wasn't sweating. My jewelry matched perfectly because my jewelry was also pink and gold.
Right.
So it all kind of worked out. It was just like a very stressful like week before the wedding. But again, we got it done. My family got it done. And so that worked out. And everything looked really great.
It
so
did. For someone who didn't want a wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did it. At the end of the day, I was glad I did it. I would not do it again. But I was very glad I did it. It was worth it. Mike had so much fun. Mike's family had so much fun. Everyone was just positive about it.
It's just, you just left that wedding like, wow, that was a really amazing night.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it wasn't like a super over the top wedding for sure. Like everyone was like, especially on my side, we're like, wow, that was a very low key wedding. Cause like, I feel like Indian weddings lately have gotten to a point where you're like, is this the Academy Awards? Like, what's happening? And like, you know, as long as this is what you want and you're the bride and groom and this is what makes you happy, go for it. But I think like that obscene amount of pressure is just unnecessary. It's like if you don't have a totally crazy over the top wedding, it's fine. Because it's at the end of the day, like it's what the bride and groom want. And like, thanks for your opinion, but nobody cares.
I mean, listen, like
that's douchey, but it's true. It's like, I feel like everyone thinks their opinion on someone else's wedding matters so much. And it's like, no. This is not about you. Like whether you are me and you wanted a more fusion, non-traditional wedding, or you want a very traditional wedding, or you want to wear a blue dress or a pink dress, or you want your bridesmaids to match, or you don't want bridesmaids at all. Like none of that is up to you. It's up to the bride and groom and what makes them happy and whatever's a reflection of who they are on their day. And everyone else's job is just to be like, you guys look great. I hope you're super happy. Make sure they're having 100%. A great time. And that's it.
Yeah. And I mean, like I was going to say, American wedding, Indian wedding, Italian wedding, whatever. It doesn't matter. I've been to so many, but one of the things with your wedding is that you saw everyone. Like there wasn't one person that genuinely wasn't just on the dance floor having a good time. You know, at weddings, everyone's kind of doing this, everyone's kind of doing that. No, everyone was just... Yeah,
the dance floor was packed. It was awesome. That's what I wanted more than... I was just there to dance. I was there to dance.
You can buy all the glitz and glam, whatever thing for your wedding that people do. Again, doesn't matter what culture, it's just you can't buy the type of time that you have. And that's one thing with your wedding.
It's only as stressful as you make it. That's what it is. And it's only as uptight as you want to be about it. Like if things just go wrong, it's like, yeah, we're just gonna keep moving. Let's just keep going forward and it's gonna be fine.
You're celebrating your love, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And as long as your wedding reflects that you guys totally love each other, I feel like you're good. You're good to go.
Please remind me that on my day if that should happen.
I will.
You know.
I feel like I'm more stressed out about being your maid of honor.
No, I feel like no.
It'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
It's always
so
fine.
You're so much more talented than I am, and you're more creative, and
I can promise you a great dessert table at your bridal shower.
Exactly.
It's gonna be so cute.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
That's the only promise I can make.
To myself, you know, it's fine.
Claire was a great maid of honor. She was awesome.
Don't make me cry right now.
You're not gonna cry.
Told him.
Relax. I think that's it. We didn't have a ton of other wedding questions. I think that was like the gist of it.
Yeah, no, it's just, you were the best bride.
Thanks.
You should have like an 800 number so that, people who need questions or want.
I don't know how to, I cannot do that. No.
Q&A on your blog.
About what?
I don't know.
How to be a bride?
Yeah.
I'm probably not. I feel like I was the worst bride because I didn't really want a wedding. So the whole thing at times really felt like a chore.
It was
not in like but it made me kind of like not the most positive bride all the time. Like sometimes, but like at the end of the day, it's like you don't always have to be psyched all the time. Like you can hate parts of the wedding planning process.
You taught me that it can be stressful, and I totally got where you were coming from when you said it was stressful
because it is stressful. And like we had to even Mike and I had to make like rules like after 9 p.m. we don't talk about the wedding. Now it's just like us hanging out, or like we would make like plans to do things like, oh, we're gonna go out on a date or something, and it was like we are not talking about wedding planning.
I think that was in part though due to your timeline. I mean, you got engaged in September. You had your white wedding back in
December.
So
it's been a year almost.
Yeah, everything happened within less than a year. So I think that's really what took a big toll on the stress. But other than that,
It worked out.
It
It
worked
was
out
fine.
really well.
Yeah, and Mike was like very involved in the wedding planning. I know sometimes like the grooms are like not involved at all. It's really whatever your dynamic is with your partner and how much you want. But like
He's
I
so
wouldn't have
supportive.
gotten through it without him.
He's so supportive, Mike. I mean, he's on board with anything that you asked of him, and
Yeah, and he's such like a organized, like logistical person. Like Michael had spreadsheets for days. Like he had all the info in the most organized way possible, all the finances, how much we spent on what, where everything was coming from, due dates for certain things, timeline set up. Like logistically, like he was such a gem. And he came and he came to all the vendor meetings and all the food tastings and even meeting with the priest beforehand. Like he was on it. So at no point did I feel like I was ever alone in it. But yeah, I think that's everything from Claire, unless you have anything else to say.
no, I mean, I could be here all day talking about this wedding, but I think we covered it, and this was so much fun.
Yeah, you can find Claire at All Things New Jersey on Instagram. Follow her.
It's just a fun, easy little blog. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's a fun thing
It's
you
there.
do.
Hopefully
Check her
it gives
out.
you good restaurant ideas or just fun things to do. I try, okay? I try.
All right, well, that wraps it up. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening. As always, make sure to subscribe and share, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.